for prosperity. That's what we aspire to as young people. We have our compact with the people of Zimbabwe about prosperity. We would like the people of Zimbabwe to be prosperous. We were looking forward to the next election. People of Zimbabwe can choose a path which brings prosperity back, which brings the diaspora back, which brings in all the former white diaspora and so that we can all be engaged in a collective effort to rebuild the country. But I can't see how these perpetual failures, these ministers ever delivering on that, particularly in the next couple of months when they failed for so many years. So ultimately, the people of Zimbabwe have to use the vote. We want them to be judicious in the selection of the candidates who will represent them in the next elections. If the G40 tries to impose the candidates, we call upon all the nation to resist such kind of imposition.
Yes.
And the battle has been made so easy because there is one married family where somebody is always being extolled as being superhuman by the wife. And that, of course, has been going on in the rallies. It went on the meeting of the Youth Council. Now there are 14 million Zimbabweans. I can assure you that 7 million marriages are assured out of those 14 million Zimbabweans. Because we are half feminine, half male. I want all the spouses to have pride in their husbands and in their wives, so that you also use the vote to make sure that the pride which others abuse in their marriages, you use it judiciously to make sure that we have got good representatives. So we are calling on the couples of Zimbabwe to start campaigning in their bedrooms against the next people who should be the leaders of this country. Because one family has made it a point of extolling their super marriage status. That's what it is. So now we want everyone to feel that his marriage is super. In your bedrooms, in whatever you are doing as couples, please start debating. And this is democracy. We are just appealing for people to be democratic. It's the same with what the appeal to all the people, to all there is this mantra of the youth has said, in a country where every family lost a member during the war, there is somebody who is a child of a war veteran. In every family. Amai ningi vasina kudzoka kuhondo ningi wati ana kudzoka. Baba vaningi asakaenda kuhondo ana kudzoka. So every family in Zimbabwe has got somebody who was lost in that war. Saka makazvarwa nemaveterani. Vana vema-war veteran, look at this constant abuse of the tradition of your parents. Wherever you are, be like your parents. We defied Ian Smith when we were at a tender age, and he was more powerful. Defy this nonsense. Start mobilizing his children of the war veterans against the constant haranguing, abuse, tirades, and all sorts of scoldings which have been going on against the war veterans. Take it as your own struggle and make sure that it is expressed through the vote. People who cannot pass the criteria of patriotism based on the tradition of the war veterans and what your parents fought for should not be allowed to be in the door of power by an election. It's not. And we are also appealing to the new Minister of Justice to make sure that the BVR vote is not only fair, it is seen to be fair. We don't want a situation like in Kenya, where the electoral system, which is supposed to aid the transparency of the vote, to reflect what is happening on the ground, to ever be doubted by the electorate, because that doesn't create confidence. So the Minister of Justice wants him to work very closely with the Electoral Supervisory Commission and the ZEC and everybody to give us a clean election which makes Zimbabwe stand heads and shoulders above what has happened in Kenya, so that we again become the example for Africa. So the Minister of Justice has got a very, very, very important task before him, beyond the one of making sure that the Constitution is observed. He also must make sure that the elections which deliver the people's will are also transparent and accountable and engender confidence with the electorate. That's what we are. So he has got which we need to comment on. The outrageous accusation against our armed forces that they can carry out a coup. We are a revolutionary army. A coup is anathema to a revolutionary army because we start from the people. Clearly, the people who are saying so, they don't have the mwenje, the booklet of the party ideology. And when it starts within the first family, the president is a teacher. He has an obligation to teach his party. It's very important. She is extra constitutional. She doesn't exist in the constitution. The army has got a statute in the law of Zimbabwe. The police have got a statute in the law of Zimbabwe. The CIO have got a statute in the law of Zimbabwe. The prison services have got, these are constitutional bodies which are recognized as statutory bodies which are recognized by the Zimbabwe Constitution. Now we have somebody who has no local state, she has no position in the Constitution of Zimbabwe. There is nothing which says a marriage is a constitutional, it gives constitutional powers, a marriage certificate. There's nothing in the Constitution of Zimbabwe. Now she's pronouncing against constitutional, constitutional bodies. Comrade President, this is wrong civic lessons to the populace of Zimbabwe. Can you come out openly and put it on record so that the respect which is accorded to our state institutions, which we have earned because of our tradition from the war, which we have earned because of our conduct since independence, remains upright in the eyes of the people of Zimbabwe, in the eyes of the region, and in the eyes of the world. We can't have a person who has no locus content in the Constitution accusing constitutional bodies of trying to usurp power. They are the ones who want to try to usurp power. That's why they've been resorting to all these ad hoc arrangements of interface rallies, midnight cabals, all this. They are the ones who are extra constitutional. And this, the president has an obligation. You've built your name as an icon of the revolution, but more than as a statesman. This behavior where statutory bodies and constitutional bodies are challenged by jaywalkers is unacceptable. Jaywalkers have no right to be attacking statutory institutions.
For these and other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.